Hello.
Hey everybody.
Hello everybody.
We welcome
Welcome
you
to the
the
Hunt
Hunt
for
for
Harmony.
She wanted to say it together the last time, so I was just trying to say it together again. I was a little
Welcome
off.
everybody.
I was a little off.
Yeah.
So I'm James Hunt,
I am Jaqua.
and we are
Not
not pastors, ministers, counselors,
therapist.
therapists. We consider ourselves coaches. With our 27 years of marriage and experiences, we just want to share and hope that our experiences and information will help you get through some rough spots in yours.
And yours.
Your
And
marriages. Yeah.
So if you didn't catch last week, we invite you to please go back and visit. It was the picture of your marriage.
Yeah, and hopefully you were not the third picture for sure.
If your marriage rather was a picture, what would it look like? And we presented 3 options. So go back, take a look, see what your marriage looks like, or might look like. It might look completely different, but just in general.
Well, we hope you were able to identify.
Yeah.
And to move forward from there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tonight, our topic is going to be the hidden enemy.
The hidden enemy.
You're like, wait a minute, somebody's hiding? Yeah. You got some things hiding in your marriage. That's what we're referring to.
Nobody thought, somebody's hiding.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. In their marriage is what I meant. Okay.
Anyway, the hidden enemy. What, you may ask, is the hidden enemy? Secrets. And secrets can wreck your marriage. And we're really talking about 3 kinds of secrets. The first is not really like a secret. It's not an intentional secret like, oh, I'm not going to tell my spouse about this. But it's things that if they're not known and then later exposed, then they can be perceived as a secret. So what are these insignificant, not really secretive secrets? For example, lunch at work. You might go to lunch with a group of people every day, or you might go to lunch with one person every day. And you never mention it to your spouse. And then one day something happens and it just happens to come up that you have lunch with so-and-so every day. That ain't cute. That's an intimate time. And it may not even, like I said, it's not intentional.
I mean, but sometimes it might be intentional because you know your spouse. You know your spouse might be a jealous spouse. So you choose not to say, although the lunch was, like she said, just an insignificant, just something, hey, we just had lunch together.
Well, I didn't say had lunch. I said have lunch every day or regularly. But
you don't want to tell your spouse because you know your spouse might react in a not so happy way about you having lunch with especially somebody of the opposite sex. Okay. So sometimes it's intentional that you don't say. But if you feel like you have to keep that kind of stuff away from your spouse, then you probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, your spouse should be able to,
No, you should be able to have lunch, you mean? With a coworker.
Yeah, without your spouse being upset with you. But if your spouse is that person, you can't do it. You just cannot do it.
Because what'll happen? You'll be at like the company picnic or the Christmas party, and that person will mention, yeah, when we're eating lunch, blah, blah, blah. Say what? What's she talking about when y'all eating lunch?
Well, I made so-and-so some cookies,
So, say what? He made you what?
Yeah.
Or he just bought me a snack. He bought you what? Not cute.
Yeah.
Not cute. So don't do it. Even if it did not start out as a secret, it's probably worth mentioning to your spouse. Just mention it.
Right.
Yeah, we had lunch, or I ate lunch with so and so. Make sure it comes up in conversation. It needs to be told.
But that's why your daily routine, should be discussed with your spouse. What'd you do today?
Right.
How was work?
Mm-hmm.
And share it during that time.
Right.
And that way the spouse will get used to saying, okay, they do this.
Right. They have lunch together.
They have lunch together.
No big deal.
It's not one of those things they find out you've been having lunch for the past year every day.
Planning lunch, sharing lunch.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, that's not good.
Not good at all.
And that's just an example. It could be some other things.
Yeah.
Could be other things that are not intentional.
Right.
Like it could be something with a neighbor.
Yeah.
Like y'all have coffee together every morning, or it could be really anything.
Or you were called to go and help. Can you come and help me do such and such? And you went over and you helped, but your spouse never knew anything about it. Well, why are you at this man's house? His wife is not home. Or why are you at this woman's house and her husband's not home? You got to talk about
sticky. Just
stay away from it.
Just stay away from it. Stay away from it. So that's enemy number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy. Enemy number 2. Anything to do with past events, past relationships, things that may have occurred in your childhood, not necessarily your childhood, but sometimes too in your childhood, or it could be things that happened before you even met your spouse. But those things mean, if you haven't shared them with your spouse, that means you have that knowledge that you're sharing with someone else.
Right.
And I know you might be saying, but that was 15 years ago. Yeah, but then what if you run into that person and something comes up? Because this stuff happens all the time, and something comes up and your spouse is like, oh, I never knew that. We've been married 20 years and you never told me that, this big event happened in your life, that you were sneaking out of your girlfriend's window and got shot, or whatever it was. Or something a little more serious, that perhaps you had an abortion in your past. And then as you and your spouse are trying to have a baby, you can't. And you don't know if it has anything to do with an abortion or something, but it could. And your spouse is none the wiser. But it's something that you would have to share eventually if you're, trying to figure out what the issues are, what the medical problems could be. So don't do it, just share.
The other one is finance.
That's a big one.
Some people got those secret stashes,
mm-hmm.
and you have them because you are probably telling yourself, some of you, if he does this one more time, I'm leaving. And you got your stash together, and you can't live your marriage like that.
Mm-mm.
You can't live your marriage with a plan to escape.
Right.
Okay. Who knows what you're doing with that money? You could be supplying another person with money, and your spouse has no idea, when we could be using that money for something we want to do. You that's the secret.
Right.
And it can cause a lot of problems.
Another secret with finances is secret purchases. Ladies, how you buy that bag for $500 and you put it in the back of the closet.
And then guys will see it and say, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, I've been
I had this so long.
I had this a long time ago.
And it's true. You probably bought it like 4 months ago or something.
Yeah.
So, like, I've had this so long. You remember, blah, blah, blah. And then your spouse, see, they're guilty because they don't pay attention and they go, oh, yeah. No, they don't know. So you kind of play it off that way. Or those shoes, $200 pair of shoes. And I'm saying women, but men do it too.
Men do it too, yeah.
I know men who buy like really high dollar items. And men's stuff is expensive anyway. But like $600 shoes. And one that I'm thinking of in particular is not married. But, $600 for a pair of shoes? Ouch. But you might have to, sneak that into the house.
Right.
Put it at the back of the closet. and then bring them out. Be like, oh yeah, I got these like 3 months ago. Remember? No,
things like that can come back and cause problems when things are going very well in your marriage, and then something like that pops up and it sets you back.
Right.
You want to avoid those things. So how do you do that? You come clean.
Come clean. Come clean now. And it may not be a big deal, and that's the perfect time to talk about it. Don't wait until it becomes a big deal. Just talk about it now. Just go ahead and mention it. Yeah, you bought that cologne for $60. Okay. You bought that hair.
Mm-hmm.
You bought those tracks for $400.
Or you loaned so-and-so some money.
Ooh.
I don't like so-and-so. I'm not trying to help so-and-so out. So, yeah, come clean.
Yeah, just come clean now. The lunches, buying snacks for people, spending time with people, all those things.
Now, we're not saying you can't be generous or anything like that.
No.
But include your spouse on what you do. That's what we're getting to.
Right. Because personally, I hate finding out things about what's going on in my household from somebody who does not live in my household. That burns me up.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be anything. Oh, I heard y'all are going to so-and-so. Really? I had no idea. Oh, well, yeah, so-and-so James mentioned y'all were doing blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, he didn't mention it to me. Or even with children. Oh, your mom said blah, blah, blah. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Come clean.
But in the process of coming clean, you have to expect a little bit of fallout.
Yeah.
I mean, some spouses might take it and be like, what? How come you didn't tell me? You can always come and tell me things,
right.
But then there'll be some who will just go flat off.
Why you didn't tell me? You must not have told me for a reason. It must be a secret for a reason.
Yeah. And you don't want that.
And the older it gets, the worse it gets. Because if you are holding on to that little negative information for a lengthy period of time, I mean, it just follows that there must be some reason that you're hiding it or not sharing it. So come clean.
But once you come clean and, you might have a little fallout, it's nothing to divorce over.
I hope not.
It's something that you can,
move
work out.
through.
You can be angry about it and say, hey, this can't happen. But there's really no reason to say, you know what, we're getting a divorce. I don't think anything other than, abuse, should cause you to just want a divorce. Other things you work through. I mean, we don't want to work through. And a lot of times we want things to be perfect, and it's not going to be. Okay? Mm-mm. It's not going to happen. But once you come clean, you can put it behind you, and you don't have to worry about things coming back later.
Bite you in the butt.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's peace. That brings along peace. No stress.
Right. So, if you're holding on to some bit of information.
If you're hiding that enemy.
Yes, if you are the caretaker of that enemy, if you're taking care of that enemy, go ahead and expose it. Get it out in the open and be done with it. Because the longer you hold on to it, the more it festers. Or it may not even fester. Because it may, a lot of you, I bet people are saying, well, that happened so long ago and he doesn't know. So why should I go and tell him myself now? Why should I say something? But it's important because the Bible says that which is done in the dark comes to the light. And it's going to be exposed at some point. So you might as well just go ahead and share it. Just go ahead and get it out in the open.
All right.
That's it.
That's all I have.
Clean it up. Get it out. Bring it out in the open.
We want to thank everybody for viewing.
And finding us on YouTube. Thank you.
We have a few more subscribers. And
yes, please subscribe.
Yes, please do. And like us. We will see you next week at 7:30 here on The Hunt for Harmony. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.